Thank you, lady. So I want to see if there are any specific questions. Hopefully most of you, and actually I would know this answer if I looked at it real quick, but you desperately need to try out the review problems. And as you do not freak out if you have forgotten some of them. Do you hear me? So they are a review, but it depends on your background, how long it's been. I mean, my God, give yourself a break if it's been 12 years or something. Even if it's been a few days since you took the last course, it could quickly leak out the brain. It's understandable. So before I go launching into some specific things I want to cover from there, and then I want to do a little bit more in chapter 1, I want to see if anybody has any specific questions, either from homework, the review section, or does anybody have any leftover technical questions about how any aspect of the course is going to work? You guys, any questions? Everything is, sorry, go ahead.
When we submit our the review and we get it back incomplete, is it because of the way that we sent it, or?
So if you look at, I'm glad you're asking me this. If you see submitted homework has a complete or an incomplete or something, you look at the homework itself. Go into there and you should be able to see it. And I've written notes on it.
Okay.
And at the top, it should say correct or something, or okay if it's, if it says okay, you're good. If it says correct, just redo the problems that you got wrong and then resubmit those, scan those and resubmit those right in that same place. Does that make sense?
Yes. So I just submitted mine, but I didn't look at the corrections, so I have to resubmit it again. Because I just thought it was because
that explains
the way I sent it was wrong.
I was trying to figure out how to take that you gave me the exact same work. I was like, what? Okay, I'll let you get one more shot. Normally you only get one shot at corrections, but that's fine because you didn't understand what I wanted. But okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Are there any other questions like that, or questions from actual homework problems, or how to do something? You guys doing all right? Are you guys all like, oh my God, I can't believe I had to get up this early and he's asking me questions and he expects me to know how to put together sentences? I'm sorry. The only reason I can is I had a big old mug of coffee, man, which is really taking years off, but oh well. Okay, all right. I'm going to launch into a few things that I feel like people probably have questions about related to the review problems that I have you do. And then we're going to do a little bit out of chapter 1, and then we're going to head out. So for example, before we get back into percentages and all that stuff, there's, come here, you. Let's see if this works better. Whoa. You will work now. All right. All right. Let me see if we can do this. Bum, bum, bum. Technical shit. All right, guys. So one quick little thing, I think, that there's a problem. Hello. There's a problem. Let me switch it. Yeah. So obviously, what's this?
0.
Yes. Why?
Because it's 0 things out of 25.
Yes.
If you have 0 cookies and you put them in 25 piles, we still have 0 cookies.
I love it. So if I have no money and there's 25 of us and they give us all the same amount, we all get 0. Exactly. I love it. Or cookies. Either way. A more technical way to look at this is 25 times 0 is 0. So that is a true statement. Right? For example, what's 6 divided by 2? That's amazing. Nobody wants 3. Okay. Yeah, like Jude. You seriously want me to take my time to say this? But why is this true? Because 2 times 3 is 6. All right. And I know this seems, don't get wrong. I'm not pretending like you don't know this shit. Just go with me. So what is 6 divided by 0? It would have to be a number that when you multiply it by 0, you get 6. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I really want you to understand why we say what we say for the answer to this. Is there any number defined in such a way that that's true? Something times 0 is 6. If there's no number, then what do we call this? We call this undefined. That's why we call it undefined. Are you guys kind of with me? Don't say no solution. There's no equation. That's an equation answer. This is undefined. Does anybody else, any other teacher ever called it something else? For anybody? Anybody have a teacher call it something else?
No.
Sometimes some teachers call it infinite. No? That's all right. Sorry. I don't want to go there too much. We won't go there if you've never heard that before. Undefined is the slightly more preferable way to discuss it early on. When you get to stuff like slope, oh shit. Then you can start to look at this as infinite. Because that would be all rise, no run. That would be an infinite slope, but I don't want to get too far ahead of us. All right, how are we all doing? You guys cool? I like it. There is something I saw, I kind of hate these kind of things, but 0 divided by something is okay, and something divided by 0, no. I don't know. All right. I kind of don't like too many of that kind of thing because it gets a little bit away from the idea and more just memorize little nifty sayings. Okay, something else is going to be huge is this. And sometimes you'll see different letters in there, but what the hell is that?
Parentheses.
Yes?
Excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yeah, please excuse my dumbass son. I mean, dear Aunt Sally. Whichever saying is more applicable. Sorry, I'm trying to give myself a little more room here. Let me see if I can zoom in and yay. So please excuse my whatever. Dear Aunt Sally, dumbass son. No, hear me this. My students came up with this. Do you hear me? My students came up with this next one, okay? They said it could be, please excuse my deficient algebra skills. That wasn't me. I was like, okay. All right. So one big problem, what really, really pisses me off is I have actually seen instructors teach that multiplication comes before division, which is complete and utter bullshit. Do you guys, let me say something and tell me how you feel about this. Do you guys understand that there is no division? Division is multiplication.
Wait, why? I was taught that multiplication, when you're doing PEMDAS, that you're supposed to do the multiplication before the division.
See?
I've never heard that the multiplication doesn't matter.
All right, now listen. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize for my colleagues who have told you wrong. And if you love this teacher, I'm not attacking the teacher necessarily. I am sort of. Maybe they should stop teaching. I want you to really, really understand why this is. So you ready? Let's do a very basic problem. Watch. If I have 10 divided by 2 times 5, right? What is the only number that's being divided? How do I rewrite division? I could put the 2 underneath, right? Just stay with me. And again, I know some of you guys are like, oh, this is all shit. I know this shit. Well, great. Sit back, enjoy all you can. I'm talking to the people that don't quite get this or had teachers that told you wrong. And again, that makes me so pissed off, and I'm sorry. But I really want you to, now watch. Holy crap, did he do that? So if I do 10 divided by 2, is 5 also being divided? No, it's times 5, right? That's it. That's it. That's it. So if you thought, if your teacher said this is going to be 10 divided by 10, do you see how that's not fair? That poor 10 is only being divided by 2. It's not being divided by 10. Does that make sense? Here's even another way to look at this. And this is what I mean when I said, I don't know if I freaked anybody out when I said there is no division, right? There is no spoon. Another way to write this is 10 times a half. Do you guys know that? How do you divide things? You multiply by the reciprocal. Does that sound familiar? In fact, maybe I'll discuss that next. And I'll prove to you why that's true. This is my favorite thing to do, by the way. Everything in math makes sense. The more you just memorize or kind of have little sayings, the less connected you are to the sense it makes, the harder future classes are. And especially if your teacher tells you wrong, I'm so sorry, right? Okay. So I'm going to prove that multiplied by the reciprocal later. So this would be 10 divided by 2, and then multiply by 5. So watch. The correct way to write this is like this. Definitely parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, division as it comes, then addition, subtraction as it comes. So let me show you this. This one is something you can relate to better in the real world. If you have $10 and you owe somebody $20 and you find $30, you with me? I have 10 bucks. I owe somebody 20, but then I find 30 bucks on the ground or in a pocket, in your jacket pocket from last winter, right? Anybody ever done that? Should I have money left over if I pay them off? If you do this, you might think it's 10 minus 50 and you owe somebody 40 bucks. Who the hell do you owe 40 bucks to? Doesn't make any sense. So you do it as it comes. And again, because there is no subtraction. There is no subtraction. What is subtraction? Adding the opposite. That's why addition, subtraction, you do it as it comes because they're both the same damn thing. Multiplication, division, the same idea. Am I making things worse or making things better? I never know.
So wait, why do we have? Yeah, I'm confused too. Why is it that the way that I was taught in high school? Why is it that we do addition and subtraction instead of just doing it the way that the equation comes? Instead of making it so complicated and adding PEMDAS.
Oh my God. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying you do it as it comes. 10 minus 20 is? 10 minus 20 is?
Negative 1.
Oh, there's
10.
10.
Negative 10 plus 30.
40.
Negative 10 plus 30.
Oh,
It's a
20.
20.
20.
Right? But it sounds like the teacher that told you multiplication comes before division, I would think that they'd also say addition comes before subtraction, I guess. But obviously it couldn't. I wouldn't do 20 plus 30 is 50 and then 10 minus 50 and I get the wrong answer. And I know it's wrong because it's a physical situation. 10 bucks, I owe 20, I find 30, I should be good. So coming back to the all right, so this is going to really suck for you guys if you were taught incorrectly. And right now, I know probably some of you guys are like, I don't know this guy. This guy's insane. This guy could be completely crazy. He's the one telling me shit wrong. I liked my old teacher. He was great. Or she. Yeah? No, sorry, Cameron. You're dead wrong. And your teacher was dead wrong. And I feel bad about that. And I'm sorry. Okay?
Sorry, I have a question. So if the previous way of resolving a problem is incorrect, how come the right answer was still received?
Was still what?
Like, we still got the correct answer for the wrong process.
Which one? So this one we did earlier. What was it this year?
I'm saying you're saying the previous way was like wrong, like adding before. Now I'm confused.
What was it? Okay, hold on. 20. What was it? 20 minus 30 plus. I can't remember what the problem was before. Yeah. 20. I'll just make up another problem. Okay. So. You ready? Okay. I love you guys. This problem, you cannot do multiplication first. You will get the wrong answer. Is everybody? Sorry, say again.
I see what you're saying.
Okay. If you do multiplication first, then you're dividing 10 by more than this problem says should be. It's only divided by 2. What's the only number in this thing that's on the bottom? 2. So you can't do this part first. You have to do it as it comes. Here, somebody's saying in the chat something correct. If you realize, now watch, what I'm saying you can't do is 20 minus 70. Is everybody cool with that? You can't do that. 30 plus 40 is 70, 20 minus 70. That, you definitely cannot do that. But if you realize that this is really plus and negative, you can switch these around all day. You can add everything, whatever order you want to, as long as the negative sign stays with that number. Are you guys with me? It's sort of like when you balance your checkbook back in the day when we had to do that kind of thing. You would add up all the positives, add up all the negatives, and subtract those two things. You could add in the same, as long as you kept the negative with the negatives. Are you guys with me? I want to make sure you understand the point I'm arguing against. What you wrote down in the chat looks correct, and I think it's basically what I just said. As long as you carry that negative with that, you can do that any order you want to. Are you guys? I think when you complicate the problems, it might matter more. Oh, when there's more stuff going on, Ian? Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is make sure the very basics is understood, because if I start throwing more crap on top, you're going to be wrong from the beginning. And you have no chance if you can't do this. And again, I'm not saying it's necessarily your problem, because like you just heard, somebody was told wrong. The more important thing is not just believe what I say, but does it make sense what I'm saying, independent of me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of this stuff right now is real foreign to me. You know, I haven't been to school for, like, I'm in my 50s. So this is like, all this stuff is coming back new to me. So I just got an opportunity to get logged on, because I had a problem with my first device. So I finally got the chance to get in. So I'm stepping in probably about 7 to 8 minutes now, probably.
All right.
And I'm looking at this. So I'm like, all this is foreign.
Okay. So two things. Did you miss yesterday's lecture?
Yes, I did.
All right.
I thought we started today.
No. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, okay.
Oh, no Friday. Thank you. Fridays, we have a ton of meetings always. Teachers do. Another thing is, I don't know if you've gotten into Canvas yet for the course.
Yeah, I'm all into the Canvas and all that. Yeah, I've been doing Canvas for a while. It's just that I haven't been doing math in a while.
I'm with you. One of the first math assignments you have is from what I used for Math 90 last semester. It's a free textbook I used. It's from the review section at the beginning of that. That's one of the first assignments there is. And that's kind of like what we're talking about right now, is some of the highlights from that section.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the review, you can go into the chapter 1, into the specific sections, and get a refresher on those ideas.
Okay.
I'm not saying you have to understand everything I'm talking about right now today. I want it to start to come back in the brain. I want to start making connections because this is going to come up a few times, and we're going to actually cover this again throughout the semester. So you don't have to get all of this immediately, but I'm trying to get everybody to see where everybody kind of is and to start to make connections with what it is that you know from before. Does that make sense?
That do make sense. Is this whole class basically starting from algebra?
Yes, so this class is like Math 90 and Math 103 combined, with a little bit of statistics thrown in there too. Okay. So it's trying to get you ready for statistics or for 120, transfer level course. If you need if anybody feels like they need a slower pace, and to be really honest, we're not going to go very fast. You could take Math 90, but you actually end up doing a little more algebra if you do that, which personally I have no problem. But that's a choice you can make. We do have time. Let me try to get you guys out of class fully. I don't know if you looked at the pacing on the homework sheet, but I've put a decent amount of time for each chapter. So what I'm hoping to have happen is to have a lot of questions as we go through things. You guys with me?
Yes.
I love that. This is the class. This is the moment to bring up anything that never made sense, that you forgot, that your teacher might have told you wrong. And it's my job to explain it so that you don't just take my word for it. You see why it is the way it is. Is that, you guys with me?
Yeah, you saying asked all questions now.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm just gonna follow along myself because I'm trying to get it. Just
I got
put it like that. So
to develop questions, you want to start doing that assignment. I think it's point 3, the review assignment. You want to
try. That's what I was lost on it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And then you bring your questions to class. And it's part of my job to manage what I do in class. And then if I'm not going to be able to get through what I need to, I can tell people to come see me after or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So that's part of my job too, is managing classroom time to make sure I get through what I need to, but I don't want to steamroll.
Dragon, yeah.
And then last thing I want to ask you is, do you know how to change your name? Because right now I'm going to call you iPhone, and that's not going to work.
No, I don't.
I'll change it for you real quick. What's your name?
Linnell Allen. L-Y-N-E-L-L. Last name Allen, A-L-L-E-N.
All right, there you go. Now you're Linnell. I like it. All right, thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, so let me see. Where did I leave off? All right.
Well, 20, you down there in that bottom right. I think you were.
All right. Is everybody, even if this goes against what you were told before, everybody understand what I mean when I write it like this? And I like, somebody wrote in chat, watch this. Instead of PEMDAS, we could have called it this. How do you say this? Anybody want to try? I would say PEMDAS. It sounds like I need to do like a drunk check. Can you walk a line, Jeff? I'm just applying PEMDAS. Oh my God. No, that's just a joke for me. Again, somebody was talking about a teacher trying to make everybody laugh. I'm like, every joke I tell is for me. And if you guys laugh, it's just icing. So we didn't call it that because it's easier to say this. That's all. But when you write this, it makes it look as if M comes before D all the time, but that's not true. These are on the same level. So let me do one with a little more going on. Let's do one with a little bit more going on. So let's see. That's a lot going on, Jeff. Oh, well, to it. All right.
Is -1.
Careful. right there. Help me do this. Identify what you're going to do last. What is at the ass end of PEMDAS?
Subtraction.
Addition, subtraction, right? In fact, let me write this the right over here. So what is at the end of PEMDAS? Ass, right? Addition, subtraction. So what is the very last thing I'm going to do in this?
Subtract.
Kick ass. So that 4 minus is just going to keep going, 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 because it's 4 minus I don't know yet. What's the very first thing that order operation says to do?
Take care of the things in the parentheses.
Start with the subtract.
That's here. I like it. So everything else stays exactly the way it is. But now I can do 3 minus 7 is?
4.
Negative 4.
Negative 4. I like it. Kick ass. You guys can see that, all right? Yes. Okay, good. Lighting situation, I think, is better.
Why did you go straight to that? What does the P represent?
P is parentheses.
Oh, okay.
Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. This is like the grammar of math, which is why it sort of sucks. Has anybody ever learned a different language? Some of you guys, maybe English is the different language. Right? Math is my first language. English is the second language for me. The grammar of a language is probably one of the hardest things to get down. So the grammar of math, if we didn't have this, we'd all get different answers for these. And how could we communicate them?
Right.
I like it. So that's what order operations is trying to do. Set a basic grammar. So when I look at a math sentence, I interpret it the same way as somebody else. So the very first thing, parentheses, what's in the parentheses? 3 minus 7, so I can do what that says.
Negative 4.
I like it. Now what's the next thing it says to do? Any exponents?
Exponents. And what does exponents mean?
An exponent would be something like 4 to the second power.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that'd be 4 times 4, that'd be 16. So I don't see any exponents, right?
Right.
So then what's the next thing I look for?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, division, I like it. Do I see any? This whole piece here has those in it, right? So the whole thing as it comes. Because multiplication, division is on the same level. And see how I said the 4 minuses keep coming down for the ride because that's the last thing we do? Now, to be honest, what's negative 5, negative 4?
What is it? Positive 1?
No.
Positive 9?
Times negative 4.
Positive 20?
Positive 20. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
and real quick, you guys, one of the hardest things about negatives is that when you multiply 2 negatives, of course, it becomes a positive. But when you add 2 negatives, it stays negative. The way I think about that is, I wish if I added 2 debts I have, a debt and another debt, I wish they would cancel each other out, but I know they don't. I just get more debt. If I owe you $5 and I owe you $7, I don't suddenly have $12 show up in my pockets. I owe $12, shit, it's still negative. But when I multiply, now this is what's interesting. Real quick side note, if I multiply a negative by negative, negative means turn around. And I know I'm going to do several side notes, and I'm sorry. We're not done with this problem yet. There's more to come. Real quick, on a number line, here's 3. Where's negative 3?
the other side of the 0.
See how it turned around? So if I do another negative, it turns around again. Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see. I see.
I want you guys to understand, what I'm doing right there isn't just a useful visualization. It's actually almost the whole picture of what it is. But that is, right now, it's a really useful way to look at things. If I turn around and then turn around again, I end up right back where I was. Yeah. So that's why 2 negatives multiply to be a positive, because they mean turn around. And that isn't just me making shit up. I mean, Don't freak out. Has anybody ever heard of imaginary numbers? Anybody?
No.
All right, that's the last I'll say. That'll come later. But that actually kind of goes along with this idea of turning around. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about those. All right. So coming back to this. So -5 times -4 is +20, and everything else is still just here.
What makes it say okay, multiply?
The parentheses.
Oh yeah.
Parentheses automatically mean multiply?
So if I have something sitting next to something else with no operation in the middle, that's understood to mean times.
Okay.
I like it. So when I see, and I don't want to, there's some things I'm not sure whether to say because then it might make things more confusing, but this parentheses means inside parentheses. Something sitting next to parentheses means multiplication. So I could have put a dot there and that would have been multiplication also, but I didn't need to.
Because the parentheses, every time you see it, it's going to be multiplied.
Something sitting next to something in parentheses means multiply. Yes.
Okay.
I like it.
And then how would you know, I would look at the problem like 4 minus 5 instead of -5 times -4. I would just use 5 times 4, and then I would have used the subtraction for the bottom.
Do it one more. So would you have done 4 minus 5 is -1? Is that what you're saying?
No, for the parentheses part, I would have just put 5 times -4.
I love it. You ready? So you would have done this. Here's 4 minus, and what's 5 times -4? What's 5 times -4?
9.
Positive 20.
20, yeah.
20.
I'm not adding, I'm multiplying, right?
Yes.
So what's 5 times -4?
-20.
Negative 20. Because it ain't 20.
What would happen here?
Oh, turn into a plus.
Time that.
Plus. So something that's a little bit understandably difficult to do on the fly is to realize that subtraction is negative. Negative is subtraction.
Okay.
And that gets kind of weird sometimes, but that is a reality. So I could have done it in one time, bam, or I could do it in 2 steps. Either way, you get to the same place.
Right.
All right, all right. I like it. I gotta keep up with chat too. It looks like.
How did you get? Okay, so you went from negative. That's what, -4.
No negative. Oh, here.
I mean, just no, down 1.
4 minus
4
-20.
Or minus -20.
Because what's 5 times -4?
It's -20.
And there's a 4 minus in front.
So you just brought the 4 minus down.
Exactly. So now watch. On the side now. I don't know if it's gonna help out at all, but what's 5 times 2?
10.
And
So if I put a 4 minus in front of that, I still have to know what a 4 minus what? 4 minus 10, and then I can do it. So this part just kind of comes for the ride. It's just waiting for this guy to figure it out himself, right? It's like 4 minus what? Come on, guys. What the shit are you? Oh, we're 10. Okay. I look at things, but it gets me through. All right. Now, what would I do next? I'm still working on this, right?
20 divided by 2.
Yes. Because this piece, I do it as it comes. 20 divided by 2 is
10.
10.
10, yeah.
And then what's the next thing I do?
Multiplication.
Multiplication.
30.
So 4 plus 30.
$43 or 34, yeah, 30, yeah.
Okay, you kind of moved kind of quick on me. Can you go over that one more time? Let's go from the 4 again, if you don't mind.
Yep. So which piece am I
So
still?
we finished that. We finished the -4. So we ended up,
Negative
yeah.
So I still have to do this. And I do it as it comes. 20 divided by 2 is
20 divided by 2 is 10.
10. And then I still have to do multiplication before the addition. So what's 10 times 3?
That's 30.
And then I can finally do 4 plus 30. So do you see we had a prediction that this is the last thing I would do? And isn't it the last thing I did?
Yes.
Why? Because it was at the ass end of PEMDAS. Okay. All right, maybe. And again, I want to say, I'm going to say this a few times, especially in the beginning of this class. Some of you guys are like, oh man, I know how to do this shit. What the hell are we doing? Like I said, just enjoy that while you can. And some of you guys are like, man, he still went too fast to do that. All right. That's when you stop and ask questions like everyone else doing. Do you want to do another one of those or?
Yes.
Yes. Let's do one more of these.
I have a question. Are you always going to do the dot as a multiplication symbol? Is that how you do your multiplication, always with the dots?
No, because remember, I didn't even have a dot there.
Oh, no, I'm saying where you see the 2 times 3, like you use dots. Are you always, is that how you use?
What's another symbol you could use?
I mean, the X.
Why don't we use that anymore?
Because of the variables.
Yeah, because now it means different. Yes.
I see. Okay, I get it. All right. Now I understand.
If you know scientific notation, does that sound familiar to anybody? Like 4 times 10 to the 5th power, that's the one place the X is still used for it because it's part of the notation. But otherwise, it's very confusing. It's like, is that an equation to solve or is that a times? I don't know what this shit is. Okay.
I see.
I like it. All right. So let me give you another one. Here, you guys try this one by yourselves, and then we'll do it together. Let me see. All right, I got to come up with one on the fly here. Let me see. Let me make it not too crazy. Okay, I like it. Now, whenever I do these problems, I do it step by step by step. There are other ways to do this the more comfortable you are with order of operations. So you do have to show me work. Do you remember the shirt I was wearing yesterday? I have a shirt that says show your work. It's a little important to me. But you don't have to show every single step I show necessarily, especially if you're more comfortable with it. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but very rarely will we actually use the calculator. I'm going to make it clear where you can. You should be able to do most of the stuff without it. In fact, you have to. Okay, I'm going to mute it.
Do you want the answered text or?
Sorry, say again. Oh, don't say anything yet. If you got the answer, just hold on to it.
What?
Sorry, I'm in the way.
You're cutting out.
Oh shit.
Do you just?
All right, guys, let me ask you this. You might not be quite done, but what's the very first thing to do?
Divide 18.
Divide.
So again, I got no parentheses, I got no exponents, kick ass. And then I can just focus on these. this whole piece right here is the MD level, right? So I got the 6 minus and the plus 1 are just going to come for the ride. 6 minus, what is 18 divided by 3?
6.
And real quick, do you see how I change one thing? 18 divided by 3 is 6. So this is just a better way to say this. And then, of course, next thing I do is
Multiply.
Multiply, because I'm still on that level there. 6 minus
30.
30.
And now I can do this as it comes. What is 6 minus 30?
Negative 24.
Yeah. Always think about money. If I got $6 and I owe you 30, I can give you all my money and I still owe you 24, right? That's a situation we can all relate to. And then finally, negative 24, and I find $1. So now I only owe how much?
Negative
23.
I owe 23, I like.
Okay, I think this is where I made a mistake. And you know, because it's please excuse my address, Aunt Sally, and the aunt before Sally, the multiplication, I mean the addition comes first. So I did the addition with the 30 plus the 1.
That's exactly what I was saying. That's why I write it like this.
Oh.
This comes first, this comes second, this level comes third, this level comes fourth. A does not come before S. It could have been PEMDAS, but that's harder to say. So it's,
got it.
And again, just to reiterate this one more time, you don't know me, I understand. You might have loved some past teacher that told you, like that one girl said, they told her multiplication came first. I am really sorry. They might have been an excellent person, questionable teacher, all right? All right. You can take that as you will. You can drop me. You can say this guy's a jackass, but they were wrong. They just were wrong, and I'm sorry.
Just know that my teacher, my 8th grade teacher who taught me algebra, his name was Mr. Bates, and everyone joked that his name was Mr. Master Bates. Okay. Joke.
Yeah, I had a teacher, his name was Mr. Hooker, so hey. And of course, then I also had Dr. Fanny, so, I mean, it happens.
I know a Mr. Hooker, that's funny.
There you go, see? And he was kind of senile. I think it was 10 years past when he should have retired when I took him over. Okay.
And also, I want to say something.
Yes.
It's like, even though it's multiplication division, we have to do left to right. So before like doing multiplication to get the correct. We can't like go multiply right away 3 times 5 before doing the 18 divided by 3.
Really,
so it's always left to right.
Has everybody got this? I'm going to take this away.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, I'm going to take this one away. All right. So not just because it would be harder. If you do this, it's 18 divided by 15. Ew. But that's not why we don't do it. It's because the only number that would be on the bottom is the 3. If I rewrote this, it would be 16 minus 18 divided by 3 times 5. And if you do this first, you somehow put the 5 down there. How? That's magic shit. You with me? The 5's not down there. It isn't. The only thing down is the 3.
That's correct.
I like it. I like it. If you wanted to do this first, what's missing? That's an interesting question. What would I add into this problem if I wanted to do this first? You can do it. What makes anything become first?
Parentheses.
Yeah, so if I put parentheses here, right? Then you'd have to do that first because parentheses makes anything first. In fact, the very first problem we did, didn't we do 3 minus 7 first? Because it was in parentheses. Parentheses sort of makes that the most important thing. It's like, oh, there you go, you're elevated. Maybe, maybe, maybe. I'm spending some time on this because order operations don't just show up in order operation problems. They show up everywhere. They are the underpinning of how these things work, no matter what section we're in. So I don't mind spending some more time on it. Okay. Let's see. You gonna do one more of these or?
Yes.
One more. Let me see if I can throw in some other stuff here. Oh, you know this one's gonna be a little extra. All right. Let's see. Yummy. Sorry. I want you to realize this is going to sound very Star Wars, kind of like Yoda. You know, he's like, it's not power. You know, he's little tiny. Just because it's a big problem doesn't mean the steps are hard. It just means that there's more steps. The people that do well at math naturally are the people that break things into parts naturally, and we don't all do that. So when I see this problem, I realize, just to give the first step away, nothing matters except 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 is relatively easy. I don't let everything else get in my head at once. That does nobody any good. There's no mathematician, I don't care how good they are, that can do this whole thing in one step. None. Nobody. They can do it quick, but they don't do it in one step. So let me write that first step down just to give that away. What is 2 minus 4?
-2.
-2.
Okay, now I have a question. So when there's I forgot what you call that 2, that little 2 up there, but when it's in the 2, you bring the parentheses with it. If the 2 wasn't there, would you not bring it down with parentheses, or do you always use it with parentheses when you bring it down with the answer?
This is a really good question. Watch what happens if I write this specific problem without parentheses. I'm about to write something that's not correct, so don't write it down. What if I wrote it? What if I would have written this like this? Did I change the operations?
Yes.
What's the operation here?
Multiplication.
What's the operation here?
Subtraction.
Holy shit.
Okay.
So if that would not have been a negative, I would not have needed the parentheses. I could have written it like this.
Okay, so then it turned into multiplication.
So the only reason the parentheses are so I know that it isn't subtraction. I know it's times a negative number. That's a really good question. I like it. See, some people will do this on the next step. Did I change the operations?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. It was supposed to be times, and now it's plus. So the next step, I'm going to give the next step away too. Holy shit, I'm just going to do a whole problem for you, but I got to leave that because now it means, or I could write it like this. As long as I maintain the times, right? We're not some kind of math miracle worker, right? We can't take multiplication and make an addition. No, can't do that. Threes always have trouble. Come on, 3. There you go, buddy. So the first thing we did was in the parentheses. Next thing we did was exponents. So pretty cool with -2 squared, negative times negative, of course, is positive. What's the next thing you would do here?
Multiply the 5 and the 4.
Yeah, so see how this whole middle chunk is this level. This stuff on the outside is going to be at the end. So then I can just do this whole stuff in the middle. I can just do it as it comes. So keep going. I mean, yourself. We'll check it together in a minute. Everybody, yeah, I like it. Doop, 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 doop. Where's Sam? Sam, are you out there? Sam? I'll see who's here in a minute. I think everybody else has got their actual name as their name, which is good. That helps me out. I'm always curious how many people log in and then go back to bed. I'm gonna find out in a minute. All right, guys. So what's the next thing I do? Yes.
Times 4.
5 times 4 is 20. And then what do I do?
Divided by 10.
Do the division. So I'm still working on this chunk right there. 2 plus, I don't know, plus 3. So 2 plus 20 divided by 10. We got. And then I can finally do the last piece of that.
14.
Good. And now this should be
19.
Yes. Enjoy it. So even independent of getting any individual problem's answer right, what's actually more important than that is, did you understand the steps that went into it? You might have made a simple mistake somewhere or something. What's more important is, did you understand? That's why I say show your work. If you have the wrong answer, no work, I have to take off all the points because I don't know what went wrong. You show me some work, maybe you lose less points. Because I'll say 2 times 3 is 5 sometimes. You want to know why? Because I'm human, right? I can understand that. I don't think anybody believes that. But I don't know what the issue is if you don't show me work. Okay, so let me do this. I want to transition a little bit. Has everybody got what they want from there? More than you ever wanted? I understand. Because I'm going to block it. All right, a little bit. Yeah, maybe not so much. Okay. I want to show you something. Let me see. Actually, let me do this first. I'm going to do a poll. So get ready. There's going to be 2 questions that show up on the screen, and I want you to answer them. And I have 35 people here right now. Let me see how many answers I get. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
There's going to be 2 questions that show up. Just answer them. Here they come. Bam. You guys all see it?
Yes.
Oh, here it comes. Here comes some answers. You're like, dude, give me a minute. I got to think.
You want us to shout them?
No,
Or
no,
say it?
just select them. You should be able to select an answer.
Oh, I see it. Okay, thank you.
And on my side, I can see the answers coming in. See how many. By the way, this is anonymous. Don't freak out. I can only see numbers. So if you want to say math is evil, I won't keep track of you and go, I'll show you what's evil. No, don't worry about it. So answer honestly. I'm not going to take it personally. I like it exists is getting a decent chunk here. All right, let me see. How many do I have? I'm missing 6 people. This is what I was worried about. Has everybody voted? Anybody still? Oh, I just got another one. Okay. Some people are running back here from their bed. Oh shit, he's asking me something. Well, 5 people did not answer. Okay, I'm just gonna live with that. I'm gonna end the polling. I'm gonna end it. There, I've ended it. And let me show you. Tell me if you can see this. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Sweet, thank you. I'm still kind of new to this polling thing. So most of you guys said you like math, which is nice. I'm gonna go ahead and believe that fully. One person said math is evil. I understand that. And then if you scroll down, so if you've done the first section's homework yet, the whole idea is bar graph versus pie chart. And I know you've all seen bar graphs and pie charts. You almost can't escape them. They're everywhere. But the thing about pie charts is, what do the percentages have to do? They all have to add up to be
100.
100%. So which one of these could you not use a pie chart for? A pie graph.
Decimal one.
First one or the second one?
The second one.
Yeah, because they add up, because you could have selected more than one thing. So of course the percentages are going to add up to more than 100%, right? I like it. So I would have to use a pie chart, or I could, for the first one I want to use a pie chart, and for the second one I'm going to want to use a bar graph. And to be honest, if you kind of do this, it does make a bar graph already. Just look at the things. Is everybody cool with that? You guys all right?
Yeah.
So I might do some polls just to at least see how many people are actually paying attention, but also because the answers are going to be interesting. Let me see. 3 people have more than one job. I had 3 jobs going to college because I had to pay my own way through, but I'm not going to do like old grandpa. I had to walk uphill both ways. 10 of you guys have kids. That's awesome. Although that also makes things more interesting, let's say. 8 of you guys. So 21 of those who answered are first generation college going students. That's pretty cool. Congratulations. 41% know what your major is. That feels good. Although that might change. My major changed about 3 times. You have at least one pet. I like it. Oh, 10% can wiggle your ears. I cannot do that. I can raise my eyebrow, but I can't wiggle my ears. And 7%, less than the national percentage, are left-handed. All right. Bop, 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 bop. I'm going to stop that. Go away. Okay, so I like that polling thing. It's relatively quick and easy. So I at least wanted to say that about section 1.1. The major difference between, where am I? Down here. The major difference between bar graphs and pie charts is the bars can add up to more than 100% because it's really about the categories. The pie chart is about a whole pie and then what the slices are. So they have to add up to be 100%. You guys with me? And you're going to have to create a pie chart. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can kind of eyeball. Is everybody cool with, I mean, what would this be? Yeah, exactly. So if you have a pie and you do this, that's 25%, right? If you have 28%, you just want to make it a little bit more. So it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but don't do 15% is this. No. So try, do what you can by hand. I understand by hand is not the best, but oh well, too bad. Do what you can. Let me think. What else did I want to say? Are there any specific questions from section 1.1 from anybody who worked on it? It shouldn't be too evil. Let me show you one thing before I let you out of here. I do want to show you. I promised you this data from last time. Oh, let me show you where I'm going for this because you should be able to access this also. Here we go. You guys see key performance indicators?
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds exciting, I know. But you can actually see like student success. So for example, course success rates. You should be able to access this. This should be publicly accessible. I'll put the link in the chat in a minute. Somebody remind me. But I can control what genders I want to look at, so I can see differences between the genders. So what this means is, in fall 2009, 66.4% of students were successful in their course. 16% were not successful, and 17.5% withdrew. And this is important for us to look at over time, because as we implement new programs and things, we want to see, did it have an effect on our retention? Did it have an effect on our success rates? And then you can even scroll down, you can do which subject, so you can look at math. It's going to take a minute for a little site. All right, you can look at math. Get in there, become a thing. Okay, and then you can look at, go away, 96. Do it. Okay. You can see over time what's happened in Math 96. So like something magical happened in 2013 where nobody withdrew. But do you see what we call, do you see the number of people we're talking about? Not very many. So when you have a very small sample size, the percentages can be affected a lot by just a few people passing or not passing. So this still shows us something kind of troubling. Looks like our success rates are going down, but you guys are going to turn that shit around, right? Yes. Okay, good. Maybe we'll see. I'm hoping. I'm always hoping. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you this just in case any of you guys want to play around with this at all. And I might come back to this and use some of the data. Let me put it in the, yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat, and then I'm gonna see if you guys can access that. I think you should be able to. And then I'm gonna officially end class a little early. So if you guys, anybody have any questions, you can hang out for a bit. Otherwise, if you're done, if you're Zoom fatigued already, you can head out. So we understand the class is over, but if you have questions, hang out and ask the questions. Thank you for coming.
I have a question.
Tomorrow. Yes, who's talking?
Okay, so I did my practice scan and I sent it in, but then I just looked online and it doesn't say I sent it. Can you tell me if I submitted it or not, or is that too much trouble?
Let me see, hold on. So your practice scan. Okay, internet, work with me. Okay, here we go. See you. All right, let me see. Who's this, Tanya?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I don't see it.
Okay, so I'll have to redo it. Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Let me know if you have troubles.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Have a good one.
You too.
I had a question. I've redone my scan at least 2 different times. How many times can we redo our scan, the practice one?
Wait a minute. So this is Tatiana?
Yeah.
So let me see. You redid it because, let me see. Let me look at you. Here you are. It looks good. Let me see.
Because it says incomplete, and
Oh. Are you talking about the 0.2 practice scan, right?
Yes.
I'm looking at it right now, and I put complete on there.
Oh, because I looked at my Canvas and it showed incomplete.
All right, I'm sorry. It should, so 0.2 is definitely complete for you. So double check that.
Okay.
That's my worst nightmare is, that's why I never wanted to teach online, because math by itself is already difficult enough, and then you add on top any technological issues that might happen, and all right. How's everybody else? Anybody else have questions?
Because I missed yesterday's, is that the book, or is that what pages of the book, or is that also the practice scan? Like, is that on Canvas, or where do I get to that so I can complete it?
So you've logged into Canvas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you haven't done any of the assignments for this class yet?
Not yesterday's. No. I don't know if there was an. I didn't.
So here's Canvas, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna look at it like I'm a student.
Okay.
All right. So there's announcements, and then you can go to modules.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is all the work you got to do.
Okay.
You have to do this part in order. And once you get this unit 0 done, you'll be able to turn in chapter 1 homework.
Oh, okay, so all the pages that I need to do are on there. It's not like from the book yet.
The homework, you ready? Homework timeline.
Uh-huh.
Click on that. It shows you all the homework assignments for the whole semester.
Oh, no. Yeah, I printed that. I have that. Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your class. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. How's everybody else? You guys all right?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so for the practice questions, the 0.3, it says it was incomplete, and then I think you said earlier that you had to correct the problems for it to be complete.
Let me look at you real quick. Who is this? Kaylee?
Yeah.
All right. All right. There you are. I see you. Did you just submit corrections?
No, I resubmitted it because I thought that I scanned it wrong or something. And so that's why I resubmitted it. And then I got it here.
All right.
And
So you did the same thing I think that somebody else did.
Yeah.
Look at, so unfortunately, now that you've done that, I don't think you can see your original submission. That
Okay.
sucks. Because what you do when I grade them, you see the problems I marked wrong, and then you read those problems. So I can, your most recent submission, I can try to duplicate the, what do you call it? The notes I put on the first time, so then you'll know what to correct. Does that make sense? Are you still with me? Kaylee? What happened?
I'm sorry, my computer cut off on sound.
So you cannot access the one that I graded now anymore. So I'm going to try to put on the most recent submission, put the same notes I put the first time around, so then you can correct those.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. See, Andrew and Linnell, you guys all right? Class is over, so if you have no questions, you can head out.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why you couldn't hear me. I've been yelling and trying to get to you.
Oh, you were muted.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just starting this stuff, so I didn't know I was supposed to do the rest of those questions. So I have to complete the rest of the questions and stuff the best I can, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
And before I access anything else. So what do I have to do? Just go down that line of things that I need to do?
That's right.
And
some of them are things you got to submit. Some of them are things you just got to read or watch a video.
Okay.
As soon as you get done with that unit 0, then you can start doing chapter 1 homework and turning it in.
Okay. And then I can get with you at 8:30 before 9, right? Or that's any other times. When is some good times where I can, because I'm going to need some help.
So I'm going to be here every day at 8:30, and still trying to figure out, because some of the meetings I got to go to this semester have not been set yet. So I'm not sure where else I can put like general office hours yet.
Right.
So office hours for each class figured out. But I might have either, you could always email me and say, I want to set up an appointment with you and give me some times that work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I just need to get the basic concepts down.
Yeah. So
because I can see it, but I can't, it's all coming to me today. So the things that we're working on, like this has been over 40 years, almost 40 years or so.
All right. So you could do that. You could email me and say, here's some times I'm available. Do any of these times work? And then I can set up a Zoom session.
Okay.
Right? Or as soon as I figure out all of my meeting schedules, I can try to figure out where I'm going to have like general office hours for all of
I don't want to lag too far behind. That's what I'm saying.
And then you can always come to the 8:30 time also and just ask questions before class starts. Yeah.
Okay. So just finish those off. I watched the videos and pretty much so I'll look back over that and then I guess we'll go from there.
Okay.
And because I haven't gotten my book yet, it's supposed to come today.
Oh, I got you. That's good. You get that sucker and just start looking at it. To be really honest, your very first assignment is on Canvas. I think it's the .3 review, and I have a link to that assignment. You don't even need our book for that. It's on the internet. You just do the problems, and then you can get into the book stuff.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Well, see you tomorrow. We'll see what I can do with it. All right. Thanks a lot.
Good to see you. Take care, man. Andrew, you got a question? Andrew? And Sam, I saw you just came back in. I don't know if you got kicked out or not, but basically, I don't know if you can tell class is over. So it's just if people have questions. Are either of you actually here? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Andrew. I just looked over at chat. These have the answers built into the questions. What do you mean?
Thank you, Professor. I have questions. Last night I go to Convents. There was no assignment. We don't have any homework for today or tomorrow we have.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
I didn't see any homework or assignment on the Convents when I log in last night. There is any homework for tomorrow or for today?
All right, so you got to help me out here. So let me share with you this. You've logged into Canvas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and in Canvas, there's a homework timeline sheet. There it is, the homework sheet right there. And it shows you all the assignments for the whole semester. Yes? No? Sam? Sam? What happened? Oh, somebody's chatting at me. Let me see. Oh, okay, good. All right, you're good, Andrew. Sam, are you with me still? What happened? Sam? Sam? There you
Sorry,
are.
sir. I think I put it on mute. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I saw the calendar. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. All right, Sam. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Professor. See you
You're
tomorrow, Professor. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Certainly.